Welcome, dear friend, to this gentle haven where you are cherished and safe from the world. I know the news of the day can feel overwhelming, and the weight of the world often seems too heavy to bear. Here, every soft-spoken word is a reminder that you are not alone, that we are together, finding hope and light even in the darkest moments. I'd like you to close your eyes and take a slow, mindful breath. Inhale kindness and hope, and exhale all the heaviness of fear. Allow this peaceful rhythm to guide you as we begin to explore the news with gentle clarity and compassion. Let's start with a story that cuts deep into the heart of our democracy and human dignity. Recent reports reveal a deeply troubling pattern unfolding in our own backyard. Law enforcement and government agencies have been engaging in practices that leave countless individuals, researchers, asylum seekers, and even political dissidents vulnerable and unprotected. For instance, a French researcher had his computer and phone seized, and his criticism of cuts to science dismissed as hate, leading to his abrupt deportation. Similarly, a Venezuelan soccer player who had once endured unimaginable hardships under Maduro's oppressive regime sought refuge only to be cast aside on the flimsiest of pretexts, a tattoo misinterpreted as gang affiliation. These actions, carried out with a cold disregard for due process and human dignity, have even led to international alarm, with Britain and Germany issuing travel warnings that warn outsiders against stepping into a country that now resembles a third world dictatorship. In this moment of dismay, let us acknowledge the pain these policies inflict, while also recognizing the growing resistance and awareness stirring among us. Turning now to another chapter of this domestic struggle, our government's approach to public safety and law enforcement is veering into dangerous territory. Imagine a scenario where peaceful protest is met not with dialogue, but with the threat of sending citizens to foreign prisons for decades. Recently, President Trump declared that anyone caught vandalizing Tesla property, a symbol, some say, of billionaire excess, could face up to 20 years behind bars in the notoriously harsh prisons of El Salvador. This stark, unyielding rhetoric is meant to instill fear, to silence voices, and to remind us that our rights are being trampled by those in power. And while such threats resonate with an unnerving chill, they also galvanize those of us who stand for fairness and liberty. In tandem with these alarming threats, we see the dismantling of critical public services that so many of us depend on. Under the guise of promoting efficiency, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has embarked on a campaign that threatens the very foundation of essential public services. By purging over 3.2 million records from the Social Security Administration, Doge claims to be eliminating governmental waste. However, this aggressive approach has led to alarming consequences, including the erroneous declaration of living individuals as deceased. Consider the case of Leonard Ned Johnson, an 82-year-old Seattle resident who, in February 2025, was mistakenly declared dead by the SSA. This blunder resulted in the abrupt termination of his Social Security and Medicare benefits, and his bank withdrew $5,201 from his account, corresponding to benefits paid after his reported death. Johnson discovered the error when his wife received a letter of condolence from their bank. Despite multiple attempts to resolve the issue over the phone, Johnson had to visit the SSA office in person, where he spent several hours proving he was alive. While some funds were reinstated, he had not received his Social Security payments for February and March, as of the latest reports. Such incidents underscore the recklessness of Doge methods, which prioritize data purges over the accuracy and reliability of essential services. The judiciary has intervened, with federal judge Ellen L. Hollander issuing a temporary restraining order to halt Doge's invasive data sweeps. Judge Hollander criticized Doge's actions as a fishing expedition, highlighting the potential violations of privacy laws and the erosion of public trust in institutions designed to protect citizens. While the pretext of efficiency is touted, the reality reveals a systematic dismantling of programs that provide lifelines to millions, including working families and seniors. The actions of Musk and Doge not only jeopardize the integrity of the Social Security system, but also strip away the security and dignity that citizens rightfully deserve. Our borders, too, have become battlegrounds for the misuse of power. In an unprecedented move, the United States has refused a water request from Mexico, a demand born from a 1944 treaty intended to ensure the shared lifeblood of the Rio Grande and Colorado rivers. The State Department explained that Mexico's repeated shortfalls have decimated American agriculture, particularly in the Rio Grande Valley. This refusal is not merely an administrative decision. It is a stark symbol of the rising tension and misaligned priorities that pit neighbor against neighbor, sacrificing the needs of hardworking farmers and everyday citizens on the altar of bureaucratic pride. As these domestic issues swirl, another layer of our current reality unfolds on the international stage. Reports have emerged that Elon Musk, already a controversial figure in our national debate, was to be briefed on top-secret U.S. war plans concerning China, a move that not only expands his already enormous influence over government decisions, but also raises serious questions about conflicts of interest. Adding fuel to this fire, the decentralized hacking collective known as Anonymous has issued a warning, claiming that evidence exists of election interference designed to favor Donald Trump. Their message, echoing through digital corridors, is a somber call to vigilance, a reminder that in this age of rapid technological change, our democratic processes are vulnerable to manipulation. Yet even as the government's heavy hand seems to press ever more tightly, a resilient spirit of collective resistance is emerging. Progressive leaders like Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been out on the road, gathering record crowds at rallies across the nation. In Denver, more than 34,000 voices rose together, a powerful statement that the American people will not accept a slide toward oligarchy or authoritarian rule. Their message is simple yet profound. The struggle for justice, equality, and freedom is not over, and every peaceful protest, every act of solidarity builds the foundation for a better tomorrow. At our universities and institutions of learning, the fight for autonomy and academic freedom rages on as well. Columbia University, for instance, has faced severe criticism after succumbing to demands from the Trump administration in exchange for federal grants. In a moment that many see as a tragic capitulation, the university agreed to measures that include a ban on masks and the appointment of officials to oversee academic departments that address issues like Middle Eastern studies and Palestine. This painful surrender to governmental pressure serves as a stark reminder of how even institutions meant to foster free thought are not immune to the corrosive influence of political power. Our public welfare systems are also under siege. The Social Security Administration, long a pillar of support for our most vulnerable citizens, is being reformed in ways that threaten to make it less accessible. New rules now require in-person visits, an onerous and sometimes impossible task for many seniors and individuals with disabilities. Acting Commissioner Leland Dudek has even threatened to shut down the entire agency if a recent court order blocking further unauthorized data access isn't overturned. These changes, designed to create bureaucratic hurdles, are nothing less than a calculated effort to undermine a program that millions depend on to survive. In the midst of this chaos, we see an attack on the very fabric of personal freedom. A proposed bill in Arkansas, House Bill 11668, seeks to criminalize gender non-conforming haircuts for minors, punishing any attempt at self-expression with steep fines and draconian penalties, whether it is a boy growing out his hair or a girl sporting a shortcut. The bill aims to police the personal choices of our children. Such measures are a blatant overreach, an intrusion into the private realm of individual identity, and a chilling reminder that the struggle for social justice extends even into the most intimate aspects of our lives. On another front, the United States' global reputation is taking a hit. The latest World Happiness Report has placed us at a record low, ranking 24th compared to the enduring success of social democracies like Finland, Denmark, and Sweden. These nations invest wholeheartedly in public services, ensuring that their citizens feel supported, secure, and genuinely happy. In our country, however, policies that favor the wealthy at the expense of the many are driving a wedge of discontent and isolation, especially among young people and women. This disheartening statistic is not just a number. it is a mirror reflecting the growing divide between those at the top and the rest of us. And while political maneuvers and policy shifts dominate our domestic narrative, a new controversy has emerged in the realm of state-level politics. Elon Musk now faces accusations of bribing Wisconsin voters ahead of a critical state Supreme Court election. His super PAC, America PAC, is circulating petitions and even offering monetary incentives, $100 for signing, to influence a contest that many see as the first referendum on what critics have dubbed Muskism. With millions of dollars already spent by Musk-backed groups attacking progressive candidates, this latest effort to tilt the balance in favor of oligarchic interests is both a challenge to democratic integrity and a call to arms for every citizen who believes in fair elections. Amid these stormy developments, there is also a spark of innovation emerging from the digital landscape. Blue Sky, a fresh alternative to the monopolistic grip of platforms like Twitter, is steadily growing its community to 26 million users, with features that encourage open, chronological sharing without the opaque algorithms that so often distort our conversations. Blue Sky represents a hopeful counterpoint to the stifling control of big tech. It is a reminder that when people are given the freedom to connect authentically, even small, independent platforms can blossom into thriving communities. Now, as we gently shift our focus to a region that has known unspeakable hardship, let us speak of Gaza during Ramadan, a time that should embody hope, unity, and renewal. In the midst of rubble and relentless hardship, Palestinians in Gaza have been seen gathering around long communal tables to break their fast. In places like Jabalia, Beit Lahia, and Gaza City, images of families sharing simple meals of cheese, bread, and falafel serve as a poignant reminder of resilience amid despair. Yet, behind these images of togetherness lies a harsh reality. Israel's blockade and repeated bombings have cut off humanitarian aid, leaving residents to struggle for water, food, and basic necessities. For families like that of 70-year-old Jamila Zakut, who cares for orphaned grandchildren in a camp devastated by loss, each iftar is a quiet battle against hunger and despair. The very spirit of Ramadan, a time traditionally filled with joy and communal celebration, is overshadowed by a sense of overwhelming scarcity and sorrow. In sharing these stories, we honor their resilience and call upon the global community to act with urgency and humanity. Finally, let us briefly touch on an unfolding legal conundrum that may soon have far-reaching consequences. In a recent CNN segment, legal analysts discussed the administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to justify the deportation of hundreds of Venezuelan immigrants to a maximum security prison in El Salvador. Questions are now being raised about whether the necessary presidential proclamation was ever properly executed. If it turns out that the legal process was flawed, then the deportations themselves could be rendered null and void, a scenario that might force a dramatic reevaluation of policies that have long been used to marginalize vulnerable communities. This legal uncertainty stands as yet another reminder that the rule of law must always prevail, and that even those at the highest levels of power are not above accountability. As you listen to these updates, allow your heart to be soothed by the gentle reminder that amid these challenges, our collective voice remains strong. Each story, no matter how heavy, is a call for us to stand together, to question authority when it oversteps, and to cherish and protect the rights and dignity of every person. Let this update serve as both a record of our times and a beacon of hope, an invitation to remain informed, to engage, and to nurture the seeds of a more just and compassionate society. Thank you for spending these moments with me. May you find strength in our shared commitment to progress and inspiration in every step we take together toward a future where justice and humanity prevail. Stay safe, stay hopeful, and know that you are never alone. Be well, everyone. Goodbye for now.